The bell above the diner door rang softly as the last few evening customers drifted out. The kind of day that feels endless had just ended, and Emma wiped her hands on her apron, glancing at the clock above the counter. 9:47 p.m. Almost closing time. Her feet ached. Her back burned. And that polite smile she wore for every customer felt heavier than usual. Working double shifts had become her reality ever since her husband walked away 3 years ago. Bills didn't wait. Rent didn't care. And her 6-year-old son, Noah, needed more than excuses. He needed hope. The diner was small, tucked along a quiet highway in Ohio. Nothing fancy, cracked vinyl booths, warm coffee, and regulars who preferred things simple and steady. It wasn't much, but it was enough to pay the rent and feed Noah. That's when he walked in. Tall, calm, expensive coat, shoes too clean for a place like this. He moved with quiet confidence, the kind that suggested he was used to people noticing him. But here, in this modest diner, no one gave him more than a passing glance. He chose the corner booth by the window. Emma grabbed a menu and walked over. "Good evening," she said, her voice soft but professional. "What can I get you?" "Coffee. Black. And whatever you recommend," he replied with a polite nod. "The meatloaf's good tonight," she said. "I'll take it." And that was it. He didn't pull out a phone. He didn't rush. He simply observed the room, not like a critic but like someone studying something fragile, something he wanted to understand before interfering. Emma served his meal, refilled his coffee twice, and checked on him without hovering. Each time, he thanked her with a quiet smile. When he finished, he placed his fork neatly on the plate and stood up. "Have a good night," he said. "You too," Emma replied, then waited until he left before going to clear the table. That's when she saw it. The receipt. Tip. $0. Her chest tightened. Not again. She stared at it longer than she should have. Not out of anger, she was too tired for that. Just exhaustion. Tired of giving her best and still coming up short. Tired of counting coins at the grocery store. Tired of pretending disappointment didn't hurt. She picked up the plate, then froze. Something felt off. Carefully, she lifted it. Underneath was a folded napkin. Her heart skipped a beat. She unfolded it slowly, hands trembling slightly. Inside was a handwritten note. Sometimes, the real test comes before the reward. Beneath the note was a business card. No logo. Just a name and a number. And taped behind it, a cashier's check. Emma's hands shook as she looked at the amount. $50,000. Her breath caught. Her eyes darted to the window, but he was already gone. That night, she barely slept. The check sat on her kitchen table while Noah snoozed on the couch beside her. Was it real? Why her? The next morning, trembling, she dialed the number. It rang once. Then a calm voice answered. "This is Daniel Carter." Her stomach dropped. Daniel Carter. The billionaire investor. The man whose name she had seen countless times on the business news. The man whose net worth was measured in billions. I work at the diner," Emma stammered. "You were there last night." "Yes," he said. "I was hoping you'd call." "Sir, I don't understand." There was a pause, as if he weighed his words carefully. 10 years ago, I was broke. Angry. Invisible. I waited tables just like you. One night, a man treated me with dignity, even when he thought I had failed him. That night changed my life. Emma listened quietly, unsure of what to say. "I left you no tip intentionally," Daniel continued. "I needed to see how you'd react when no one was watching." Her heart sank. "I didn't complain," she said softly. "I just cleaned the table." "Exactly," he said. "And that's why you deserve what comes next." The money, he explained, wasn't a gift. It was an opportunity. A second chance. Daniel had started a foundation to help single parents rebuild their lives, education, housing, childcare. Emma wasn't just receiving help. She was being invited to be part of it. "I want you to manage our local outreach program," he said. Paid training, full benefits, flexible hours. Tears streamed down her face. Not loud, dramatic sobs. The quiet, shaking kind that hits deep in your soul. Weeks later, Emma handed in her apron. The diner bell rang again as she walked out, but this time, it sounded like freedom. Months passed. Emma moved into a small home. Noah started school without worry. Bills stopped haunting their nights. And every now and then, she returned to the diner. Not to serve, but to tip, generously, quietly, because she had learned something vital that night. Kindness doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it waits under the plate. Emma often thought about the choices we make when no one is watching, the little acts that reveal our true character. How easy it is to give up when life seems unfair. How powerful patience, humility, and quiet resilience can be. Daniel's challenge wasn't just about money. It was about proving she had the integrity, the heart, and the perseverance to rise above struggle, not with complaints, but with quiet dignity. The diner, once a place of exhaustion and repetition, became a symbol of transformation in her memory. Every scratch on the vinyl booths, every crack in the coffee mug, reminded her of nights she had shown up for Noah, for herself, for life, without guarantee that anyone would notice. And now, finally, someone did. It was more than a check. It was validation. It was hope. It was a reminder that character shows up before comfort. As Emma drove past the diner that evening, Noah giggling beside her in the passenger seat, she smiled. Freedom didn't just feel like a distant dream anymore. It was real, tangible, hers. Some things in life don't come with fanfare or applause. Sometimes, they hide in plain sight. Sometimes, the lesson is in the waiting. And sometimes, the reward, if you are patient, honest, and kind, comes when you least expect it. Emma had waited, had worked, had persevered. And under that diner plate, life had handed her more than she had dared to hope.